I think that the people, the McMaster family, is the golden egg of the research, and so I'm actually delighted that I'm finished with it to a degree.
Well,
So,
fantastic, Marty.
thank you.
I think she did pretty well with the microphone, right? Yeah. That's what research looks like. Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you.
Well, John, if you're a lumberman, I have to ask you, know what the green chain is?
Before my time.
I worked at a lumber mill, you can't believe it, down in Idana, Oregon. It was called Termite Lumber Company. Honestly, they made lots of money. That was the name of the company. But I worked on the green chain, and that's taking the just sawed lumber off and putting it out on the, to dry out. And it's not a fun job, but it's one way to get through college. So that was just a fun time. That's right.
Built some muscles.
Yeah. Now, we just recently heard from the Lamont family in Issaquah, and so glad that Jan and Darren could be here. And we don't want to put you on the spot. No, we do want to put you on the spot. Darren or Jan, would you have anything to share in regard to any memories that have ever been talked about your grandparents, great-grandparents, John and Annie, or anything else? If anything you have to share?
I really don't, except for, I remember when I was doing the family tree, my father-in-law, Jim Lamont, told me that his mother was somebody different than I thought it was, because he remarried after his real mother, Jessie, died.
Okay.
At like the age of 40 or something like that.
Yes.
Then his father remarried to somebody else, which, you know, I always thought of as the spouse. You know, I didn't know about Jessie until I was doing my own family tree. And he
Okay.
brought up her name, you know, and said, no, it's really Jessie, not the one that I thought of. You know, Darren's been to Scotland, so.
Yeah, I saw our pile of rocks.
Isn't that a great trip?
Well, it was amazing. It was great.
Did you get up into Kenmore area? Did you know of
No.
that area? Yeah.
With Tower Castle was where we went and saw where we came from, I guess.
Oh, very
The
good.
Lamont side.
The Lamont side,
It's not
right.
the
Yeah.
Nashville side,
Yeah.
Did you drop the name Duar or Doers there?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Well, Jan and Darren, so great to have you here. And best wishes to John, who's not feeling real well tonight, and to Kevin. And we're going to stay in touch. And if you have any archives that or memories that you'd like to share with us over the years, that'd be great. And it's so great to have you meet your cousins here. Yeah. Well, that's just really. Okay, let's see. We've heard about you bookstore, and Marcia, thank you for sharing that. Wonderful. And Cody, you said when you were coming here, you said, you know, I just don't have a whole lot of memories. I'm not real good with the microphone, but if you have anything you'd like to share, we're sure. Okay. Oh, you understand. Yeah. Cody is so shy. I think that's such a wonderful quality in a lady.
She really knows a lot more.
Yeah.
We had a lot
No,
of fun.
I fully understand. So, no, that's just, well, we've got one other little quirk here, or connection, and it's going to involve Nick Taylor, who's going to lead into singing. By the way, I just want to mention, a friend of ours that we invited here has a wonderful singing voice, Linda Cantrell. So glad, Linda, that you could be here to lend your voice to our singing here today. Glad to have you here. And her fiance, Ron, thank you for being here. What we have is an interesting connection. When Cody was out here with Marta, as they were leaving, they said, you know, we need to go down to the history path. How many of you have been to the history path? Okay, if you've not been there, you really need to make an effort to go there. There's some indications of it over there among the things from the archive. And as they were walking along, they went down to the city council that was here when the history path, or when we were incorporated. It showed Mayor Jack Crawford. It showed the assistant mayor, Dick Taylor. And Cody said, Dick Taylor, that name rings a bell. He wasn't one of the people that came in the university bookstore buying women's clothes. That was, Dick Taylor, do you want to come up here? No. And why was the name Dick Taylor interesting to Cody?
Well,
Dick, you want to tell them why that may have been interesting?
Well, it was Frank Failer. I knew Frank Failer for a long time. Actually, just to kind of bring it up, not too long time ago, he was the vice principal at Ballard, and he then moved to Queen Anne as the vice principal. I was the vice principal. I replaced him at Ballard as vice principal. And then I became principal at Rainier Beach. And then I went up to Queen Anne, and I was the principal at Queen Anne when Frank was the vice principal. And it was that time that I was able to rub elbows with Podie Failer, who I didn't know at the time was the McMasters. Wouldn't make any difference because I didn't know who McMasters was then anyway. But and she didn't realize at the time that we were rubbing elbows that she was rubbing elbows with the McMaster Award winner. And that's the connection, which was just a great connection, and it's been a long time now, since about the late 70s that I've seen Podie. It's good to see you again.
John Brace went to Queen Anne High when Mr. Failer was there.
Oh, there you go.
And when he heard me say Podie Failer, he said, Failer.
Yeah, Frank. I'll just tell you a couple of things about Frank. He had the knack of helping kids stay out of trouble. He also had the knack of when kids got into trouble to help them to get out of it. And he was really a good man.
Okay, thank you so much, Dick. It is one of those things, it's been said sometimes, if you're walking down the street of New York and you just stop 20 people, the likelihood of among those 20 people, somebody knew somebody who knew somebody. And this is that, what is it called, 6 degrees of separation? And here we have Dick, who the McMaster Award winner, was the principal along with her husband. That was just incredible. Okay, we're, Jan.
I just have an interesting aside as
Sure.
well. A good friend of mine who was one of my
If you want to
bridesmaids.
stand, you
Mike, Tom? Tom? Hey, Tom, there's another microphone under the desk. You just have to get out, turn it on, and give it to him.
Oh, that's fine.
We only need one.
Yeah.
A very dear friend of mine that was a bridesmaid at my wedding that I met in college was one of the first city council women of the town of Kenmore when it became a city. Tika Essler is her name. And when I told her that we had been found as one of the McMaster, descendants, she couldn't believe it. She said, I would be here tonight, but she lives in New York now, so anyway, it was just an interesting coincidence too.
Yeah, I'm so glad you mentioned that because I remember someone mentioning that connection with Tika, and she just served the city very well as a city council person for 4 or 5 years, right at the beginning when all the difficulties were part of it. So thank you for sharing that, Jen, so much. And Darren, this is your last chance to share anything about Scotland. Okay. Okay, very good. Okay, now we're going to wrap this up with a presentation. And Podie, for that, if you'd like to come forward. Well, yeah, this is a photo session. And our president, Elmer, if you would come forward. Now, one of the things that came from their archives was a picture of the John McMaster family. And we do not have all of the children listed here, but this is a photo that Podie brought to us, and we all went, ooh, ah. And so it's been enlarged, and on it it says, presented to the Kenmore Heritage Society by Phyllis Podie McMaster Failer, 2010. John and Annie McMaster family, circa 1895. So Jan and you would appreciate this. Now, I'm going to get out of the way. The last person needed this photo is me. So, I'm going to, can you tell it if you need this move? I'm going to move it. Okay. Very good. Okay. Well, maybe you do. Or maybe you did want to get a photo toilet paper. Okay, and now we're going to wrap it up before Elmer gives you the send-off. We're going to wrap it up again with a little bit of song. But at any rate, this has just been fun being up here, meeting all these folks, and thank you for a wonderful time. And now, Skip Taylor with the guitar.
We're just gonna end up with, and this might be one of the last times we ever sing this song. Who knows?
I don't like the term last time. It's terminal. Okay.
And you have the words? Kenmore is your town?
Oh.
Kenmore is your town, Kenmore is my town, from Kenmore's Johnson to Marvin's Lane, with little children and senior citizens. This town is our legacy. Kenmore is your town, Kenmore is my town, from Walsham Soul to Kenmore Air, from Pilot Sunlight and Kenmore Camera. This town is our legacy. We stole the history and follow the footsteps of Native Americans and early settlers. And as we wander, our voice keeps calling. This town is our legacy. We love our shoreline and rhododendrons. We love our herons and even our dahlias. And with each sunrise, our voice keeps calling. This town is our legacy. Kenmore is your town, Kenmore is my town, from old Scotch roots to a modern city, with little children and senior citizens. This town is our legacy.
Good, thank you so much. Bobby handed me the printed lyrics. Little did she know that I memorized those words many, many years ago. So Dick,
I appreciate that.
perfect. I would like to, before I call Elmer up, first of all, recognize Elmer, who assumed the presidency of Kenmore Heritage Society upon Jack's passing a couple years ago. And I'd like to recognize the leadership of Jack Crawford as president of Kenmore Heritage. And preceding that, Priscilla Droege. Priscilla, would you like to wave? Priscilla is truly our community historian. If you want to know anything about the history of Kenmore, Priscilla is the person to go to. And if you have a Kenmore history book, if you don't have one, they're available at Ostrom's and also Third Place Books.
And right
There's-
here.
And right here. And there's a little flyleaf in the back about Priscilla because of the contribution she's made. She was the president for a few years and did a great job, and then Jack took over and then Elmer. So we recognize that leadership, plus all the board members. And with that, we'd like to call up Elmer, and we're going to wrap it up.
Thank you, Tom, and I thank you for doing a wonderful job as our master of ceremonies tonight. And again, a special welcome and appreciation for the Baylors, Vermonts, and Masters, and all the descendants and relatives that are here to help share with us tonight our memories of beginnings of Kenmore and the people that their ancestors gave us the name the McMaster Award, which we honor each year a citizen within Greater Kenmore who's made significant contributions over a long period of time. Now, what remains to be done is just two things. The second thing is that when the first thing is done, You go back and get a piece of pie, and if you want ice cream on it, there